What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Not a Live Stream, the monthly live stream that we do thanks to your support via Patreon. We unlocked that goal a few months ago, so we're streaming our way through 2019, but we are apparently in denial about the fact that we are streaming because this is not a live stream. I'm joined with my girlfriend Infinity on Hannah, of course. Hi. What are we going to be talking about today, Hannah? We got a lot on the docket. Yeah, you don't sound excited about that at all. You probably have good reason to not be excited. Hannah actually.
Why would I be excited?
You did a video on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did a video on Warped. We're going to talk a little bit about the lineup there.
Not that much to be excited about.
I think the Cleveland date might be the best that I've ever seen in the entire history of Warped Tour.
Yeah, I think you should only be excited if you're from Cleveland, Ohio.
Well, as a ride or die fan for We the Kings, I am stoked. I'm going to all 3 dates. Their only tour the entire year, probably. We're also going to be talking a little bit, just based off of the Warped Tour thing. I wanted to talk a little bit about what happened to the APMAs.
Yeah.
Want to talk about that a little bit. Want to talk about a show that we watched called You on Netflix. We're going to talk a little bit about social media and the effects that it has on humanity and people. It's going to get a little bit deep. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about my vinyl collection, some potential updates in terms of videos. I'm going to kind of go over with you guys first, get your thoughts on something that I might try, something that I might do. And yeah, we're going to give away a couple of albums along the way. We've got giveaway codes for the new Swimmers record, Berkeley's on Fire. We've got a microwave album, Stovall, and then we've got something that a fan gave us, a code for Trench by 21 Pilots. So I'm sure a lot of you will be stoked about that. But what would you like to start with, Hannah? What do you want to open up with? Something light, or we're just going to go straight into this?
Might as well just start talking about Warped Tour, I guess.
Let's just jump into it, okay? By the way, that was really funny the other day on Philip DeFranco and Jenna Marbles. Anyways, so Warped Tour's 25th anniversary is rolling out, and all the dates have already been set in stone for a while now. Is that right? All the dates were here.
Yeah.
And then they rolled out the actual lineups. And I just don't understand the Cleveland one, because that was like the first one announced, am I right?
It's so insulting.
Isn't it?
I feel like. And they can say it as much as they want, that it was always going to be a smaller event or something.
Right.
But they really did advertise it with the other 2 dates as if, you know, pick one of these 3. You're going to get a pretty good experience.
Right.
And I honestly don't understand buying tickets so far in advance when you don't know who you're going to be seeing. Why would I want to spend that much money to, like, see We the Kings and Simple Plan? And I know that one is not as expensive as the others, but still, if I had spent money on that, like...
Oh, I would be pissed if I had actually spent some money on that. Or,
you know, like, traveling there or something.
Right.
Like, I don't know anybody that would actually want to do that at this point. I've seen nothing but, like, shit talk about that date for the most part, except for, like, a handful of, like, 1 or 2
really
like,
dedicated, like hard
30-year-old, like, diehard fans of Simple Plan or something.
Yeah, like, oh my god, Simple Plan are gonna be there.
Like, so that's the crowd that they're gonna be attracting.
They got Simple Plan, they got Hawthorne Heights,
like,
they got We the Kings.
I understand if it had to be, like, a smaller bill, you know, less bands because it's in the Rock Hall, but they couldn't even pull one big name for that. Like,
no.
You'd think, like, if they had one bigger, like, headliner-type band, like they had Blink and A Day to Remember and all these other bigger bands, if they had even one of those, yeah, I think it would be a lot more worth it because it's more like going to see a show.
Right.
And most concert lineups are better than that one.
That's true.
And there's, like, 5 bands, and a lot of shows have 5 bands, but there's so many more that I've spent less money on that I would rather see, like, a million times compared to this. So it's just kind of, it's just funny, honestly.
What did you think about the Mountain View, California lineup? Because we'll talk about the one that everyone's talking about.
The California, I mean, it's pretty similar to the New Jersey one.
It's just mine. It's missing a few big names.
Blink,
yeah,
no Day to Remember. So I think New Jersey would be the best option.
But but on California, they got the All-American Rejects instead, which for some people would be a big draw. I'd like to see them. I've never seen them, but I'm also not going to go to California
yeah,
just
I think
to
for
see
me, it's like if I lived in either of these cities or like somewhere
We'd
close, then like, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
But
it's
like,
a long drive.
In terms, like, since these are all throughout the country, like, most people are probably going to be traveling to the closest one, because since it's like the last shebang.
Supposedly.
And I just can't see myself traveling to most. I mean,
I'm telling you, next year they're going to roll out the 26th anniversary Vans Warped Tour, and it's just going to be We the Kings. It's just going to be We the Kings, and they're like no other. That and whoever this Chally Tuna and Cut Chemist. It's going to be We the Kings and
like,
Chally Tuna and Cut Chemist. I don't know who the hell that is. I've never heard of them.
I can't.
Like, I'm not even saying that, like, as a diss on them. I'm just, like, they're,
when
like...
When I first looked at the Cleveland lineup, I was like, where's the lineup? Like, this isn't it.
Yeah.
This is, like,
it's
something
like 4
else.
names.
I was like, why are there only 2 big lineups? Where's the rest?
Yeah.
But that was literally
That was it.
So, yikes.
It is what it is.
For me, I think New Jersey looks like the best option because it's on the beach.
And there's more bands at that one.
Way more better bands, I think, that, like, I would think would be more worth it to see.
You've got, like, staples of Warped Tour, like Real Big Fish in there, and even Good Charlotte from
like
the early days.
Stuff,
but then you got Blink as, like, a huge one.
Same with, like, A Day to Remember.
And I'm sure everyone will go crazy when they say, couldn't wait for the summer at the Warped Tour and the rock show. And, like, everyone's going to be like, oh my god, I'm at Warped Tour, and this is the last time.
I'm just curious how they're going to do it, though, because it is on the beach, apparently, like, in the sand. Like, can you, like, go swimming and stuff? Or is it roped off? Like, are there going to be random... Like, I don't know how this works. And I also
Mosh
wonder...
pit in the ocean for A Day to Remember?
Yeah. I also wonder, like, with having Blink there, like, obviously that's going to be the biggest draw, like, the biggest name. So I wonder how they're going to do their set. Is it going to be still a 25-minute, 30-minute set?
Right.
Or are they going to let them play a little longer?
I think since it's going to be, like...
Because they are such a huge band, like, everyone at the festival is going to go see them for
the
most part.
They're like a headliner. They're like
exactly. So I feel like... But at Warped Tour, most of the bands are over, you know, they're playing all at the same time.
Right.
So I don't know how they're going to do it with Blink.
Yeah.
Because they've had bigger bands play, obviously, Warped Tour before.
But it's been like one-off.
It's like a surprise that day of.
Like Linkin Park popped out a few years ago and like played with A Day to Remember or something, I think, and just random stuff like that. But now it's like, oh, this is actually just one date because there's only 3 total. So... yeah. Hey, thank you for the super chat, Elijah Whipple. Appreciate that. Eyes Set to Kill surprised me on the Jersey show. Yeah, they'll be on the lineup for that. There's a few cool names, like I said. You know, it's $150 for tickets, which I guess...
Is that for both days?
Yeah, it's for both days. I guess I get it, but I don't know. Warped Tour was always like a one-day festival, and it was normally like $50.
When I think about it, yeah, Warped Tour. Honestly, I think the tickets were around like what, like $38, $40 something.
Plus the fees.
They add on fees, but technically the original price before that.
I'm sure there's fees with the 150 ones too.
And I compared to like last year's lineup at Warped Tour, which was one of the best in a while. At least in terms of what I'm into.
Like what we wanted to see.
And even the year before that, with all the smaller bands that we really love, I think it's hard to beat that price for, yes, it's one day, not 2 days, but there's so much good there.
Yeah.
And for the price, I don't know if it, like, that's what I said in my video. Like, I'm not entirely sold on it for $150.
Yeah.
And also having to travel.
We'd have to find an Airbnb.
Stay somewhere.
Yeah, we'd have to, because it's going to get expensive. It's an 8-hour drive. Is that what you said from us?
At least.
And at least an 8-hour drive.
It'll probably take about 9.
Yeah, plus we'd hit traffic. We'd hit traffic, I'm sure.
And then, so all the other expenses, I just don't know if it would be worth it. Like, to drop my personal money on that.
Like she said before, like, we might, if we lived close to Atlantic City, then we would probably hit it up because we wouldn't have to stay somewhere. But the main thing that's going to factor in is gas money. We've got travel time.
Food, drink.
Yeah, exactly.
Merch.
And then, and that's also time off of work, essentially, for both of us. Even though we both work from home, we would still have to take time off.
To make up time. Yeah.
Right. So I mean, it's a good lineup. There's a lot that I'm interested in.
It's definitely the best option because it is at the beach. So it's kind of like a 2-in-1.
Yeah, it's a 2-in-1.
Vacation. You could make a trip out of it.
Right. And I would like to see that. But, yeah. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Appreciate you guys being here on this Sunday afternoon. The first one of March that we were doing. The first and only one. I don't know why I said the first one like we're about to do like 8 streams.
I feel like the last one feels like longer.
Right,
ago
it
than
does.
It was the shortest month.
A month ago, not even like a normal month, but a month ago, we were just doing the Super Bowl Sunday stream, which was crazy.
It feels like longer ago.
Yeah. Did you see Frank Iero change the band name again?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on the Warp line. It's the Violent Future. Is that right? Is that it? Somebody said it there. Well, no, they said Frank. They said Frank Iero. Yeah, Frank Iero and the Violent something. The Violent something. That sounds good. The Future Violence. I was close. Yeah. So it's been Frank Iero and the Patience, Frank Iero and the Celebration. And
I like that he did Patience, the way that it is written. You know what I mean? And then this one, it's Violence.
Right, but it sounds like some. Right, in the future, violent.
Instead of violence.
Yeah, it's spelled out like...
he could have done patient S instead of patience. So.
Like somebody like at a doctor's office, a patient.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it's a play on words. Yeah. And celebration was even, I think, spelled differently. So, gonna be interesting. I'm not sure if Frank... I'm assuming Frank has new music planned. I can't keep up with everything these days. But anyways... Yeah. Segueing into our next topic here, let's talk about a series that we watched on Netflix called You. You. No one's going to get that unless you were like my age, which was like, what, 13, 14, around the time that Soulja Boy came out?
I know what that is.
You know what it is. Okay. We watched this show called You, starring Penn Badgley, who some people will know from the band Mother.
We discovered that, like... almost after we watched the whole series.
It was like the last episode, I think.
And I was like, I think it might have been after.
It might have been.
Because I usually wait to look up stuff about people and shows before I finish the show because I don't want to see spoilers.
Right.
And I looked up the cast and I was like, wait a minute, this is totally somebody from a band that I think you know.
Yeah. And it was.
You were kind of like, no way. Like, it was just, we had no idea.
It was a weird, like, I don't know. Like, I was just like, oh my god, yeah. And, like, I realized that band followed me on Twitter. And, like, I had talked to them before. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I wonder if that was Penn.
That's so cool.
But anyways, we watched the show You, which I think was originally on TV, but then Netflix, like, bought it out quickly. And then, like, made it, like, a Netflix original. Right. So that, like...
I think they already did season 2.
Yeah, season 2's already been filmed.
It hasn't come out yet, but it's been done,
I
guess.
Finished. It's done. What did you think of, like, You overall? Like, did it hook you, like, instantly? Or was it more of, like, a wait-and-see type of thing?
Well, I remember after the first episode saying to you, like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, like, being like, okay, I'm interested, I'm invested, like, enough that I would continue watching.
Right.
I think there were a few... moments throughout the show that I was like, this is really unrealistic. Yeah. Kind of the way that some of the characters, like, their dialogue, I was like, I don't really know anybody like that, so I can't really say if that's true or not, but I just haven't really encountered a lot of, like, people, like, most of the women in the show, I feel like were kind of over-dramatized, like, the way that they would act and stuff. I'm like, they're so annoying. Like, I don't know. And some of the stuff that he got away with, I'm like, there's no way he would be that fast. Like, every show, it's like...
perfect excuse.
Everything's like coming up to this one moment, and he has like this much time to like get it before she finds out.
That's the point of the show. You suspend.
Maybe
belief.
I just don't have the greatest imagination. I guess I'm just very aware that like shows are fake, and I'm just like, well, this isn't real, so I know it's not realistic.
But that's probably why like I gravitate more towards TV shows.
Yeah, I mean, I do too, but like I'm just. I guess more picky in some ways, but with characters.
But you ended up really liking the show.
No, I liked it overall, obviously. I'm going to be watching the next season. I thought it was good overall and entertaining enough, and I really did enjoy it. I like darker stuff like that. So.
Yeah, it sounds fucked up, but it's always like like the point of the show is basically like you're kind of almost rooting for this guy.
For the criminal, yeah.
Yeah, for the guy who is like really weird, stalkery.
I like shows like that though, because it makes you like
question
conflicted in your mind. Like I love this guy, but he's like awful. Like, why am I rooting for him? That's why it's a good show. That's why he's like a good actor.
But it's a good segue. It's a good segue to start you like there. Not that you've never seen a show like that before, but it's good timing, I guess I should say, to watch that. And then next, we're going to start Dexter, which
Yeah.
I've already seen, and I love the first 4 seasons. The rest are a little bit more questionable, but we're going to start that together soon. And I think that's such an interesting show because it does kind of break down the mind of like a serial killer. And obviously a fictional one, but still. Like Michael C. Hall, the guy who plays Dexter, is so good. But anyways, we'll be reporting back on that at some time in the future, I'm sure, after I've shown Dexter to Hannah. But I think from there, I want to talk, we saw, obviously there's always articles coming out and always research pouring in on this. But we'll go deep for a second here. Let's talk about the effects of social media.
I actually don't know what this is going to be because you haven't told me about this.
We didn't really have time to
what
talk
have you
before.
gathered, Jonathan?
According to my analytics and data, no, you kind of brought this to my attention in the first place. Yeah, we were watching something and it was like a video.
Yes, I like 3 Days Grace. Sorry.
Yes, Hannah likes 3 Days Grace. You're watching Dexter right now, Tim? Sweet. Like, you're gonna enjoy. You'll love the first 4 seasons. That's all I can promise.
Okay.
What was I saying?
Said something. I brought something.
Oh yeah, the effects of social media on like people these days. We were talking like just on humanity in general, I guess is a good way to say it. I think we watched a video. It was like about a week ago, and it was kind of talking about like it was more of like a serious like interview with like psychiatrists and psychologists type thing, and it was talking about the amount of patients that they see and like the increased amount that's focused on like depression and anxiety because of the like whether it be Twitter, Instagram, social media in general. Basically, what it was getting at is that it kind of heightens people's self-aware senses that they're like in the past, like people always compared themselves to maybe like a magazine when they saw it in a rack at like a store or something, and now we constantly are inundated, like we're scrolling
to our
through.
Peers, like,
we're comparing.
Yeah, and I think it's like normally you'd grow up and like you'd see people like in person all the time, and people are still obviously in school and stuff, but you go home and like it's kind of like it's like a different persona almost when you go online. Yeah. And I can't imagine like growing up with that from the very beginning, because it kind of came into our lives when we were like middle school, high school, college like age, where it really started to become a thing. But I can't imagine like just being brought into a world where like you're just on social media, like you don't know any different,
right?
And like, it's like your whole life, your whole like image, reputation is
based
now on what you posted.
And you're only as good as your last post.
Yeah, and just think about like how much worse it is. I know a lot of people like give shit to like the current like generation, like what is it, Generation
Z.
Y, X, Z. I don't know. Yeah.
Z. I'm pretty sure it's Z. We're not a Z.
I think you're right.
We're millennials, but
like millennials and Generation Z, a lot of people like give shit to because of the social media stuff. But I'm like, I mean, it's not like they really had a choice.
Right.
When they were brought into it, it's like.
And
this
nobody,
is what it is now.
I think also the problem is more so on a lot of times the parents who are not millennials or Generation Z. They're the generation whatever is above millennials. I don't remember.
Well, think about it too. Like literally, we're in a world now where like our president is tweeting
constantly,
all day. And it's like that's literally how we run our lives.
And
now.
we get information, and we choose whether or not we're happy or sad or angry
and we get
over
news through their fake news. Like, it's just so much more.
We're
going
constantly
on.
flooded with information, and I don't. Like, people don't realize that they're so, like, either bored or just, like, starved for some sort of, like, interaction
quick
with
gratification, dopamine rush.
Right, and that's why people, you know, have done the studies on, like, you know, what does it signal when your phone lights up? And that's why all of these...
It's literally the equivalent of, like, the Pavlov's dogs, like with the ringing the bell, it makes them salivate. It's like when you hear that notification, you're like, I need to check it like right now.
And why
it's on your mind till you check it.
And why do you think every app that you install says, turn on, can you allow notifications? Because they want you to think that you've got something like important is lighting up on your phone. Like, what is this? And like constantly. And for some things, obviously, you're going to have notifications on, you want it, but like, I just couldn't imagine having, like, 50 apps and having, like, all my notifications. Like, obviously, we can't turn on, like, Instagram notifications or Twitter because, like, our phones would die constantly, like, right away, like, all the time. But some people, like, obviously, like, if you're, like, not getting a ton of notifications or whatever, I get it. But I think there's, like, at some point, there's going to have to be, like, some sort of, like, real-life balance. Unless we, like, completely go almost roboticized as society.
Yeah, that's the scary thing. It's either going to do that, like, people... Like, if they're being brought up this way, it's literally in their, like, DNA almost. That they're, like, function based on technology so much. They depend on it so much more. And it's like, if it, like, just all stopped one day, if we lost, like, the internet or any technology or power, what are they going to do?
Yeah, what would they do? They would not know how to... They wouldn't know how to function. I don't think a lot of people know themselves outside of their phone.
Yeah, and I also think, like... Yes, like, at our age, we're both obviously very sucked into it as well, but at least we know how to live without it. Like, and, we've lived without it.
Right, and, you know, we both sometimes make efforts to, like, reduce the amount of time that we spend either online in general or just, like, on a specific social media. Like, I took a month off, basically, like, a while back, and I still have kept it, like, more limited. I've learned to just... log out of Twitter instead of coming back and checking it like 80 times a day like I used to. Here and there, fine, but just to constantly scroll when I'm not doing anything, I'm not getting anything out of this. It's just like my mind is telling me you need to do this.
Doing it, yeah.
And before this keeps scrolling by, I wanted to bring it up. Sam Shaw made an interesting point. I feel like our children will be a bit better because since we did have social media, we can know when to set boundaries. But parents, maybe before, current parents, like that are older, especially like past the millennial level, they don't know how to monitor it because they didn't have that. Yeah. What do you think? Since parents didn't have it, they don't know how to control, and so they just push devices on kids.
I think it's definitely something that we will see over time, like when the people that are children right now, when they're like 20, 30, I think that's when time will tell, like, if it's gonna change or not, because they're either gonna like realize how messed up it is,
right, and how much it destroys people's like mentality on things,
or because they were brought up by it, it'll be so like in their
DNA
function
ingrained
that like they can't stop, and it's just gonna be really bad, and everything's gonna be, you know, technology everywhere, like just too much, and I don't want it to take over that much because we lose that human element.
Yeah,
and it's like we were talking the other day. I think I was like, you know, it sucks now because basically everyone's life to everyone else is what you post and what you say online. And it's like, does this really matter? Because when you take all of that away, when you take every like you've ever gotten, every subscribe, every follower, whatever, like, are you still who you think you are?
Right.
Or is that literally the only reason that you're happy or living or whatever?
Right.
Is based on like this internet world, which really isn't even something that you can touch. It's just other people looking and trying to make themselves look good as well.
And then everybody copies everybody based on, like, you know, whatever.
It's really scary to think about.
What's a popular Instagram personality doing?
It kind of reminds me of how we were talking about vlogging before, and it's like when everyone in your friend group is vlogging something at the same time, you're all filming and looking through a camera. Are you all actually hanging out and talking to each other, or are you just talking for the camera?
You're just getting content.
It's weird when you like... It's just a really weird, like, I've been in that situation. I am definitely not, like, compared to some of my other friends, I am not the one that's, like, going to be sitting there on my phone the whole time. Like, I have friends that are way worse at that.
Yeah.
And it's weird when, like, you're out or something, and you know how girls are, they're, like, I'll Snapchat something or film something, and I'm just, like, if I'm not doing that, or if I'm not participating in that and, like, filming or taking a photo that they are, I just feel, like, kind of left out. I'm, like... Are we all here?
But yeah, and what pushes them to do that in the first place? Because they see like, oh, everybody else is just constantly posting and sharing.
They're not going out to go out. They're going out to show people that they have interesting lives.
Right, like, oh wow, I'm getting a drink right now, and then it's like the drink just sits there the rest of the night. Like they don't even drink it. Like.
And in the end, like, what's the point? Like all of it is just data and information, and it's like. it literally means nothing. Like,
And
if
people
you
forget.
live your whole life through that and the internet, it's like, what are we gonna, like, when we're, like, 90? It's like, well, what did you do? Well, I spent most of my time looking at a screen,
I was
typing
here.
bullshit.
Right. And, like, well, I went places.
Taking pictures of things and taking videos with my friends where we weren't actually having fun, but we were just posing.
Right, we were posing, and then it looked like we had a great time,
And
but
we don't have
didn't.
we don't even have an actual connection because we don't talk that much. We
Right.
just sit there and try and show off.
And then
for people.
occasionally you're like, oh my god, did you see what they posted? Or did you see what they posted? Or did you see what they shared?
Like, that's all it is.
It's
now.
what conversation is. So
It sucks.
it's really scary. And I just saw someone say, Tommy C said a minute ago, you know, I got rid of Insta for 5 months and my anxiety is gone.
Oh, hell yeah.
That doesn't surprise me at all. That does not surprise me.
Taking a break from Twitter is like so nice sometimes.
It's like even though it was winter when I did that, it was like stepping outside and it was just like warm again.
It's
and it
just
was like,
like,
oh wow, you know.
I don't
like,
have to like
this
go
whole-
on here and get annoyed, like, because
this
I
whole
feel like
toxic world.
And what I was talking about earlier, like how the new generation, like the people that are kids now, or like teenagers even now, that when they're like adults and like going to be running the world,
Yeah.
I also think I really have faith that soon, in the, like, hopefully sooner than later, that this whole like canceling culture will kind of fade away, because I don't know about you guys, like, it doesn't matter how you stand on that kind of thing, but like, aren't you like a little bit fucking tired of seeing it every time you go on Twitter? It's like someone has done something, and yes, it's awful, like when somebody actually does something really bad and it's proven and all that,
but when
it's like a witch hunt. It's a constant witch hunt. You have to be careful, like, nobody's off limits, like,
right.
So I mean, you're the person who's like calling that person out, like, if you gain popularity one day, they're gonna be digging around for what you used to say,
right?
And
And
it's
like,
just,
okay, well, let's see what this person said in 2008, because that clearly defines who they are as a person in 2019. Like, you know, like stuff like that.
And
like,
it's just like really getting old to me, and it got old to me like a year or two ago,
Right.
And it's just,
well, I'm tired of seeing
at this point, I just feel like, aren't you guys exhausted from doing this
every day. I'm sick
just
of.
worry about yourself.
I like Philip DeFranco a lot, and like I know that it's like the news or whatever, and he kind of has to report on it. But I'm sick of like every episode of the Philip DeFranco show. Every installment is literally just like, oh, what are people outraged about today? That's literally a
like,
segment.
why are people mad?
It's
Why are people freaking out about?
Yeah,
blah, blah,
it's
blah.
like a segment every day on the show, and it's like Jesus
And there
Christ.
was one, I think, the last show about David Dobrik, something he said on his podcast,
Right.
and I'm just like, I didn't even hear about this. Like, there's stuff that I'm not even hearing about.
That's
and I'm
good.
just like, Jesus.
I'd rather not
I
hear
know,
about
and
it.
it's good for like people to honestly, like how David just kind of doesn't address it and just lets it go, and it does go away.
Yeah.
And I think if we just stop giving attention to these annoying people that are trying to find an issue with everybody, I'm not even talking about like the serious allegations,
Right.
but just like stupid little things like, you said this word when you were 14 and
Right.
you're 28 now, so
Right.
you're a horrible person. Like,
Right.
it just makes no sense.
Or like, you know, you were like, you have a history of being short with fans, and
just
you
like-
should take a picture anytime, anywhere. Like people,
Yeah.
like it's more. It gets to the line where it crosses like, oh, this person is doing something bad, and like you putting
Yeah.
what you expect from them. And that's another thing I plan on doing a video on soon. Like, stop getting so fucking invested in these fucking band
That's what I
members
mean.
and the artist's
or
personal
any
life.
celebrity,
Stop
because
getting
you don't know them.
You don't know them as a person. You think you know them, but you can
You
never
don't.
know them unless you know them.
And they
you're
don't know
actually-
you, especially, so they
Right.
think it's even more weird.
It works both ways. Like,
Yeah.
you don't know the artist, so you don't know them, and they don't know you, but they're also not here to just serve you and impress you and
Yeah.
take a picture with you. Like, they're
Like,
more
they're
than
people
that.
too.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
I mean, I really think, I just have a feeling that that's gonna die down over the next couple of years. I cannot see it going any other way, because what are we gonna do? We're just gonna like drive each other into holes and like go
Right.
nowhere at some point.
Right.
Where nothing flies.
Right.
And it's already so bad.
And I don't want us to come across like we're saying like you shouldn't use social media. That's not what I'm
No,
saying at
it's
all.
just like don't base your life around it.
Right. I would be the biggest hypocrite ever if I was like, oh, you know, don't get on social media. But there should be like.
It's especially hard for us because it's like our job.
Right. But I just, yeah, and I went like a month without even posting anything on Instagram, and like I just don't know what to post on there half the time because it's like,
Me too, yeah.
yeah,
It's like, do I
don't
really
know.
need to post anything?
Right, but
It's like it's also like if I don't post this, like, did you do it?
True.
Like, yeah,
like,
you
did you go to the music festival if you didn't post about it? Which I'm actually, like, legally required to post about the next festival we go to.
But that's different. I mean, I just mean, like, little things, too. It's just, like, you don't have to constantly share.
True.
Because, like, who are you really sharing with? Most of the people that are viewing it are, I mean, at least for us, are probably strangers.
Right.
And it's like, okay, like, you don't know me. And I don't know you, especially, and it's weird from our perspective, because when you're following someone that you admire, it's like, oh, cool, like, I'm gonna like their stuff, but, like, you don't really know them.
True.
And it's like, if you ever, like, taken a look at your likes on Instagram, and it shows you the ones at the top, the ones that people that you follow,
yeah,
it's, like, there's literally under 10 or something,
right.
under 20 of people that we know in real life liking every single Instagram picture.
Right. It's mostly...
The rest, which we get, like, 1,000 likes now, are, like, you guys. And
right.
it's, like, when I think about that, that's great. That's amazing that we have support like that. But it's also, like, what am I getting out of that? Like, I don't know any of these people. I don't have relationships with any of these people. So why do I actually care that they hit a button, a
right.
heart-shaped button?
We've been taught to let, like, the fact that gratifies us and that satisfies some sort of craving. It's like,
I know, but I'm just saying, like, in the end, like, that doesn't really...
Right.
I don't know.
It doesn't define. It doesn't define. We choose not to let that define our lives. Like, we're not saying that we, like, are gonna quit social media and that you should stop, like, you know, getting on or anything like that. But it's more so just don't let it define you, I guess. And I wanted to read this comment real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Pretty Odd Rihanna said, "I'm 14 and I barely use any social media. People I know have 5+ apps where they post pictures that they use on the daily, where me, on the other hand, hates the idea of having to impress strangers. I have Facebook and Instagram to try and keep up with family who live across the country, and that's pretty much the extent. I've seen people cry over losing followers, and I'm like, what the fuck?" Yeah, good for you. Honestly,
that's awesome.
The people out there, like, I've seen a couple of young people in the comments that are saying, you know, I got rid of this and it got rid of my anxiety. These poor kids, I never blame the kids, because it's being... they're given access to it.
We were at a restaurant the other day, and I saw an infant.
Yeah,
like,
I saw that
with
too.
an iPad in its hand, like, just at the dinner
table.
table.
It was literally an infant, and the mom was holding it for it, and it was like, and the baby's like, it's literally a baby.
It's already addicted to it, and it's
right.
been proven that, like, if you give a child that's that young technology like that, they're gonna be dependent on it even at that age, because that's how they're brought up.
And they cry if you take it away.
Yeah, and I hate that method of parenting, of just giving them, like, a device, especially a baby, like. What?
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
I don't know. That just makes me sad.
Nina said, "I never post on social media, but I do feel FOMO, the fear of missing out, and I hate that I do."
Yeah, me too. We do too.
Yeah, sure.
It's so stupid because I know it's not even real.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Real.
It's not real.
It's like you're not missing out on anything.
Like, your friends out there posting at the club, or they're out there posting at the concert, but I feel like, relating it back to music, like, people, like, there's nothing wrong with taking some clips throughout the night, getting a clip of your favorite band, getting some photos.
With your friends or whatever.
That's totally fine. We're not slamming that. But what I'm more so concerned with is the guy or girl that sits there the whole time filming every fucking song. Like, the girl that we saw at the Panic at the Disco show right in front of us, she filmed the entire concert, and half the time she's fucking filming the ceiling. Like, she's, like, jumping around, getting the worst footage ever. First of all, like, you're never gonna watch this. So what is, like, why have you been trained to think that you need to do this? Like, half the time she was literally, like, pointing up here at the ceiling.
The footage most of the time is not even good.
You can't hear it.
Why are you wasting
and
your phone?
All you hear is the person behind the phone screaming, like, I don't know, I chimed in, and you can't hear anything but them, so...
Yeah, and it sucks, though, because I think all of us kind of feel that urge, and it's super strong sometimes when you are somewhere that you're like, wow, this is crazy, I like, really want to grab my phone right now, and I just hate that I have that urge, and I think we all do, because, like, I mean, I'm younger than you, but, like, I used to be, like, I never filmed, like, a whole concert, but I would film a lot more than I do now.
I would too back in the day.
And I just kind of, as I got older, I'm just like, I don't need to do that right now. Like, I'm here. It's fine. Like,
Right.
it's not probably going to be that good anyways, unless I was, like, literally front row.
Right. But
which,
I
is kind
learned
of rare.
I learned quickly. I used to do that. I would go to concerts and I would be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I'm going to get some footage for like my channel or whatever, or my vlog." And I would get like way too much and it would just be like,
Yeah, like...
I missed out, you know? Like I missed out on like a lot of it.
It sucks that, like, you do have that, like, urge.
Right.
And that's kind of how we were brought up. So imagine kids in 10 years.
Right.
Like,
Right.
their urge. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It makes me think about the future of, like, parenting and how our kid, like, future kid or kids are going to be, like,
Well, think
at
about
that age.
Think about parents now who don't like who think it's acceptable to like take their kids to like a YouTuber's house and stuff like that. That's the kind of shit where parenting is going to shit, and that parents
that
are
I don't
not
understand.
parents are not monitoring. Kids are getting into dangerous situation with predators, with other people, because they're not being either taught by the parent. Maybe they are at school, but they're not being educated by parents to say, maybe you shouldn't illegally be on Instagram when you're like 9 years old. You can't even make an account. It's supposed to be like 13. But like, you know, you're not monitoring your kid's presence online, and you're just handing them an iPhone at age 6 and being like, here you go, have fun. I hope you stay on the YouTube Kids app, but then they download everything else anyways.
It really makes me, like, consider when I become a parent, like, do I want to raise my kid how everyone else is right now, or do I want to raise them how I was raised? Because I've always said this, like, when I have a kid, I'm showing them all my favorite movies that I loved as a kid, like the old Disney animated classics and just all the shows that we used to watch.
Spending
which were
time
so
outside
good.
with them.
Going outside, taking them places.
It's healthy to do
like,
that.
And not just giving them a device. Like, yeah, I'm sure we'll probably have a device of some sort, but it's not going to be something that's theirs or something that I'm just going to give to them to make them shut up.
Right, like, let's, at age 5, put a desktop computer, an iPhone, and an iPad
like,
in your
I don't
hands.
even think I'm going to give my kid a phone till they're, like, I don't know. I got a phone when I think I was, like, 11.
Yeah.
But it was a flip phone, and all it could do was call, and, like, you know, shitty texting back then was really hard.
I think I was I was like 14. I was a little, technology,
around the same time.
Technically around the same time, because technology was improving. But I mainly got it. It was I didn't
my parents.
Yeah, I didn't have a text plan when I started. I could just. I know that things are different these days, obviously, but I had a Motorola Razr. That was my first phone, and it was a flip phone, and I mainly had it to call for like emergencies or come pick me up or whatever.
That's probably what I would honestly do, and I would get them like whatever phone or whatever, but just like I think they have like ones where you can disable, like they can't download their own apps and all
which
that.
is smart.
It's just like for calling and texting me, like, but that's it. And I would, I don't know. And I also like want my kid to like draw and like be creative in that way and
have
like
an
build
imagination.
Things and play with toys and not just sit there watching videos. Like it's just so.
Well, that's why, like, you literally think about it. You're like, what are the biggest channels on YouTube? And you see some of these, like, kids channels that blow the hell up. Like, there's one that has, like, 35 million. And it's because people are just literally, like, shove this in front of the baby's eyes and leave it on autoplay.
I honestly think that's kind of unfair to those kids. Like, and I used to watch family channels, like, when I was younger.
Yeah.
But now that I'm, like, older and I think about it, like, I would be so fucking pissed at my parents if I could, like, it's a blessing and a curse. Like, yes, it's kind of cool if you have, like, these videos of you growing up, but, like, you didn't give them, you weren't able to consent to, like, them posting it to millions of people in the whole world.
Right.
And it's just, like, they see every day of your life.
Right.
For some.
Like, what will Roman Atwood's kids think,
it's just
20 years on, like, looking back at that? Or even the Shaychards or something.
Obviously, I don't think it's, like, that big of a problem, but I wouldn't personally do that. And also, it's, like, not even just with vlogging, but there's so many parents that just post, like, thousands of pictures of their babies, their kids, like, every day, and I'm just
honestly,
like, I wouldn't want to be sharing that.
Honestly, with, like, what's going on right now on YouTube with, like, everybody talking about the predators and the comments and stuff, like, you're out here showing your kid in, like, very, like exposing
suits and, like,
and
stuff.
Like doing splits
which
and
is
stuff.
Obviously fine. Like, it shouldn't be a problem.
It should never be sexualized, but the fact is that it is.
But they're fucking weirdos, especially on Instagram and stuff. People post, like, pictures of their little kids.
And
like,
it's almost like the parents sometimes, like, almost cater to that
if they want the attention.
Right, they want some sort of views or interaction or whatever, so they're like, the thumbnail is like the kid doing a split, like, every time, and it's just like,
sad.
like, I don't know. But anyways, we're gonna cap that discussion.
I did want to mention
here.
one more thing about, because I saw another comment about the concert thing.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
And how, I think it was Phoebe that said she kind of used to be that way, like filming a lot of the concert or whatever. But even when I think about it, like, I've been going to concerts for a long time, and I've been filming at concerts for a long time, especially in the last, like, 5 years.
Sure.
As I, like, graduated high school, started going to more concerts, you know, started a YouTube channel, obviously. But even when you film at shows, unless it's like an amazing clip or some crazy moment happened, like when I grabbed Brendan Urie's hand, or when Pete Wentz touched my hand, or something crazy like that, or like when you in Muse.
When Muse
something
walked,
like that. But if it's literally just the show and the songs, and it's just like your average iPhone clip from kind of far away, and it's not great.
Yeah, from like 80. It's nothing wrong with you being 80 rows out, but
I cannot tell you how many times I have watched those clips. I've watched them zero times. How many times do you go back to like those 3-4 minute video clips of like one song and just sit there and watch the whole thing trying to relive it? You think you want to relive it later, but it's not that good.
But
of
it's
an
like,
experience.
what are you really reliving other than the fact you're reliving the fact that you were sitting there filming it instead of like being into the song,
the memory of it.
Right.
So it's just like, even when you record, like, I don't know anybody that really goes back and watches all of that, like I said, unless it's something crazy.
Especially these clips that are filmed in vertical, up and down, moving around like this.
I just don't get it.
Oh my god, Brenda!
Half the time, especially now, anytime I film at a show, like, it's normally because I'm trying to get, like, a brief clip for a video.
Like a concert
or
diaries.
Like an Instagram post if it looks really cool.
Or, like, if you see us at, like, Sonic Temple this summer, like, we're going to be filming some clips, but it's because,
But we're going to be in the media area anyways, so it's going to look better.
For part of it, we'll be we have the option to be in the media area.
Well, to take photos, it'll be there.
Right, exactly. But it'll mainly be like because we're putting a video together for like at the end of it. But like, you know, just a normal concert or whatever. No.
I just delete all of my clips after because, like, okay, what am I going to do with this? Just going to sit on my phone and I'm never going to watch it, probably.
Right.
So.
But there's always, like, obviously, to play devil's advocate, there's always, like, certain ones that, sure, you're going to go back to because you're like, you know, what a cool experience.
If it was a cool, intimate experience or something crazy.
Or something crazy. Yeah. But for the most part, just like, say you filmed, like, 20 different clips throughout, you know, the 25-song performance, and it's like, you're probably more than likely not going to do that because you can get on YouTube and watch professionally or like recorded stuff like of a festival performance. True. It's like your footage versus that, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways, it could be a longer discussion, but we're going to cap it off there just because we've got a few other things that we wanted to talk about. And just while we're on kind of a sensitive, kind of touchy topic real quick, I do want to put it out there that even though we obviously talk about like cancel culture and stuff, there are very legitimate cases of things and people who should be. I don't like the term canceled, but I like brought to justice and made to pay for their crimes and for their heinous actions. R. Kelly and Ryan Adams are two people that I want to make it very clear that I do not have any support for. I believe the women that have come forward, and it's just really honestly like painful just to see like these very real, like, you know, like why would Mandy Moore have anything to gain from
allegation that you kind of can't
and that's
dismiss.
I mean, you think the ex-wife of Ryan Adams is really making all of these things up and like all of the manipulation and stuff, and obviously R. Kelly is more easy to just say like obviously like there's so much evidence and like how is he not.
It's sad that he hasn't been.
It's frustrating that it's taken so long. Like R. Kelly should have been like way even before the Me Too movement.
And it's been like pretty much proven for a while too.
He had a court case back in like 2002 or something about like the original like case. And I don't even want to get into it because it's just disgusting. But yeah, R. Kelly. I just want to put it out there because
he's been living too well for too long.
Right. Some people mistake us and our like passion for like hearing things out and hearing both sides out for saying that we like don't stand or we don't like
support victims or whatever,
or we just or we automatically side with the artist or whoever's being accused. Not true. Not the case. There is, I always say, I wait for evidence, I wait for, you know, a pattern, you know, that's developed, and, you know, when so many people, it's like the Bill Cosby thing. I mean, really, you think, like, R. Kelly or Ryan Adams, you know, you think these people are completely innocent? No. So, I just wanted to put that out there.
It's more of, like, we just don't want to jump to the absolute worst conclusion
especially
without
if we
evidence.
especially if we have no reason.
Like if it's based on someone's random Tumblr text post,
right?
I don't know who this person is. It's so easy
Anybody
to do that,
could
and it's
anybody
happened
could do
before
that.
where it hasn't been real,
right?
Because I don't know. I just think it's better to go with, I don't know.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before.
Yeah, but anyways, that's just since those are two names that are in the media cycle right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just throwing that out there. But there's a lot of horrible monsters out there that do deserve to be brought to justice, and never mistake our seeking of justice. That can go both ways.
Yeah.
It can either go towards someone we believe we believe like this should be punished, or we believe this should be looked into more. So it can go both ways. And
Yeah.
in the case of Ryan Adams and R. Kelly, very clear that, you know, not good people, and that's putting it very fucking lightly. But let's
this one person said, "Don't forget the giveaway code." We already talked about
yes,
that. I got the
we got
trench
it.
code.
I've
Thank
got
you.
it. Since we'll lighten the mood a little bit here, since you brought it up, I've got it on my phone right here. We had a viewer that sent in a code for 21 Pilots Trench. Nicolaj, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Nicolaj Madsen, thank you so much. We've got a code to give away for a free copy of Trench by 21 Pilots. So thank you to that viewer. If you would like to win that code, then if you're here in the chat right now, you are eligible to win. All you got to do is comment right now. Say, I want it, me, whatever, and we're going to pick somebody at random and give that away.
Sweet.
I like what this person, Alexis, said, you know, during Florence and the Machine's performance, she had us put our phones away. You
we
remember
were
that?
there.
Yeah, no, well, this was a different time, but she did it at our concert, too. And it was during...
Well, yeah, I know,
yeah.
but, like, I know she does that.
Yeah, she does, and wasn't that, like, so cool?
I had a lot of respect for that. I wish more bands and artists
Right, but
would
like
do that.
I just got to chill thinking about that moment because I remember that moment so vividly because like
it makes it more special.
right, nobody in
Because
that
everyone was actually there together.
that was like how many people do you think were there? Like 20,000?
It was like
It was sold out. I
an
think.
arena,
Yeah, it was
like
a sold
a hockey
out. Yeah,
arena.
It was a
type.
sold out like hockey or basketball arena, and it was an amazing moment that I remember very very well.
Yeah.
And Florence was very entertaining. All right, we'll give you guys another 30 seconds, and then we will pick somebody at random.
Why don't you let Nicolaj pick one?
Yeah, hey Nicolaj, you want to pick somebody at random?
If you're here, you can pick somebody.
Yeah, if you're
for
still
Trench.
if you're still here,
Since it was your gift.
it was your gift. If you want to, or you can tell us that you want us to pick somebody at random.
Thanks, Phoebe.
What'd she say?
She's got to go, but
Oh, bye.
I'm glad she was here.
Oh yeah. I'm glad you were part of the discussion too. Yeah.
David Hogg is here?
Why did you say that? I was like, is that
Wait.
what? Is that somebody that I know? I'm pretty sure she's messing.
This guy.
Oh my God, David Hogg, the protester.
Yeah, I don't think it's obviously not.
But he was one of the kids that was
No,
at
yeah.
like the Parkland. Was
Yeah.
It yeah. Stoneman Douglas High shooting. Wow. David.
That was really funny. You're like, who?
But I thought the name sounded really familiar.
I know. That's why I just looked it up real quick to make sure. Okay. Did Nicolaj or?
No. All right. Well, we're
Fine, then.
we're gonna pick somebody. Thank
He's
you.
just dropping by to be like, don't
David
forget.
Hogg is probably not the same one. All right. You ready to pick somebody? You want? Yeah. Here.
Yeah.
You tell me.
sorry.
You
My
scroll
belly
up.
button ring was coming out.
You scroll up and down, and I'll pick somebody.
Oh, shit.
All right.
Wait, hold on.
Ready?
Yeah.
And is that a winner?
Yes.
All right.
Raphael.
Regalado. You are the winner. I want Trench. You haven't listened to it? Well, now,
Who are you?
Now is the time. Raphael.
When were you planning on listening to it?
once they won.
Have you heard of Spotify or YouTube?
Okay. Oh, well, congratulations, Raphael.
Tell us your
Instagram or your Twitter. We give this huge speech about social media. No, it's got to be Instagram because we don't want somebody to steal it. If you don't have Instagram, then we will reach out through email or something. Because if we do it on Twitter, then somebody will steal it right out from under you. Because that's happened before. But congratulations, Raphael. Let us know what your Instagram handle is, and we'll get that out. OMG, I won. Yes, you did. Congratulations. Well, we'll wait for that. Well, we won't just sit here and wait for that, but we'll get that from you. There's a couple of other things we want to talk about before we go. We talked about a lot of the important stuff, but I guess we should talk about the elephant in the room.
What elephant in the room?
Oh... You know, this one, the elephant in the room, Elephant by the White Stripes. Just kidding.
What is happening?
No, I'm talking about my vinyl collection. I've talked to you, Hannah, about this a little bit before. So, what I have considered doing is...
Boy.
What?
Nothing.
What? What?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Just thinking about the video I need to film after this.
Oh.
Sorry, I was just verbally being annoyed.
A preemptive strike.
Oh boy. Every time. Okay.
So, with the vinyl, what I'm thinking about doing, what I've talked to you kind of about before, is completely redoing my collection video. Like, doing it all in one, but bringing it to the ARTV channel. That's what I've talked about doing before. I haven't done a vinyl update in a while, but I'm thinking of like putting like all of these, like it's 200 plus records, into one video where I don't sit there and talk about like all of them individually or anything, but we go through and I show my entire collection in one video, and then I do vinyl updates on the main channel maybe like once every 6 months or something like that. Just because at this point, I've gotten most of the records that I really want, and I'm mainly buying new releases and a few back catalog ones here and there. Like there's a few that I still want to get. But what I'm thinking about doing is like, should I like redo the entire collection? Because there's so many updates at this point. It's been going since like 2014 that I've been doing updates here and there. I'm thinking I should put together the entire collection in one video, one maybe 20 to 25 minute video, and show everything, have it like really like nice. We show the records up close and stuff. Like, would you guys be cool with that? Like, would that be something that you would watch? I know a lot of people out there like the vinyl content. They like seeing the records. And remember, everybody, the plural of vinyl is...
Vinyl.
Vinyl. The plural of vinyl is vinyl, and vinyls is not a word. Well, at least when it comes to records.
It's not. Sorry. Raphael doesn't have any social media.
But you have Reddit and Discord. We can work with Reddit. What is your Reddit username? I will send you a message right now. Sorry about that. And good for you for not having Twitter or Instagram or whatever. We were just talking about that.
Ties back.
Yes, exactly. It sticks to it. But yeah, let me know what you are on Reddit, and we'll hit you up. But yeah, it sounds like people are like down for like the vinyl and the updates and like putting it all into one, and then maybe doing a video like every 6 months or so. I think it would be more worthwhile to like regroup, put everything out there. I don't have a ton of
fewer videos for
I don't want to just try
scattered.
Exactly. I want to have more of a plan rather than just like, you know, here and there I put out one, and sometimes I don't buy a lot of vinyl in 3 months, and sometimes I have a ton. So, you know, it is what it is. While we're waiting on the username, Hannah, do you like Bad Flower? Tim Wolfman asked. Or Tim Woolman, sorry.
I do.
What do you think about them? Any thoughts?
Really like the album.
Yeah?
They just put out. I think singer has a great voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know. I like them.
Yeah.
I don't talk about music anymore.
You talk about music, movies, art, and culture.
I don't discuss music in video form anymore.
Yes, you
so
do.
I'm a little
You
rusty
just posted a
my
video.
opinions. Thoughts on?
Thoughts on? All right, let me. Can I just send a message? There we go.
You found it?
Yeah, I found it, and I'm gonna send a message right now.
Just type the code.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Oh, it's on your phone. Send the wrong one.
Subject: trench.
No, this is
vinyl.
like an email.
Yeah. Hello there, good.
Just type the code.
I need to be professional. Tell you what, I'll type it as soon as the stream ends because I don't just want to sit here and take up everybody else's time with that. But I promise I'll send it right after the stream ends. But in the meantime, I think the final things that we'll talk about before we go today, what happened to the APMAs. Also, I'm trying to get more into movies in 2019. And we'll briefly, right before we go, end on the sourest note of all, or we could discuss it now. Copyright issues on
Let's do
YouTube.
it now. Get
Let's
it out
do
of the
it.
way
Let's do it. Yeah.
Before we ruin everyone's mood.
Exactly. Oh goodness.
More like our mood.
What's your favorite Paramore song before we move into that?
Decode. I
Okay.
think.
That's my second favorite.
It's a pretty good one.
Okay. It's a great song. Anyway, so you know, I hate to keep circling around this damn topic of copyright on YouTube, and it's annoying, I feel like, to an extent, to, like, talk about the same thing a lot.
It's annoying for us,
but it's annoying,
too. That's why we have to talk about it. We don't want to talk about it.
It's like literally every day, my Gmail, I'm getting a notification on my phone saying, copyright claim on blank, you know?
Tell them about what happened with SOS.
Oh my god.
Weekend.
So this is what we go through every week. So now that YouTube, as of like
the last like month or so,
it's really last 2 months. Last 2 months. Basically anything under that's over 9 seconds automatically gets caught by YouTube if you're playing like a song, unless it's from like an independent label or something. And even then, there's still times where it'll claim it and it'll say like you used like 10 seconds of it and it's literally only like a 5-second clip. But I think YouTube only lets them say like 10 seconds minimum,
maybe.
Probably. But anyways.
Which is so not true. So.
Right. Anyways, it's fair use anyways. It's fine. You know, like we deal with it. We started using shorter clips. But the problem is that we keep running into these issues with, like, for example, 7 on Sunday. That's every week. And I swear to God, you have to recut that like 3 or 4 times every week. Just because the clips, it'll say like a 5-second clip is 10 seconds and it's not. And,
yeah, and I even like I have to test to upload them, so I'll upload them and then see what gets caught, recut it, upload again, see what gets caught, do it again. It's like a process, and it's so annoying because it takes forever to re-render and re-upload. And then, like, I even had it uploaded for, like, over a day. Yeah. So several hours, like, I don't know if it was quite 24 hours.
But it wasn't, nothing
at least
was
overnight, like, a pretty good amount of time.
Right.
And it was good to go. And then I give it to John, and he uploads it to his channel. And
Copyright
it gets caught
claim.
for something different. And I'm like, what?
Copyright claim.
I had this up for over a day, and you didn't catch it.
And so I had to recut it.
So that's how fucking annoying it is, because sometimes you do upload it, and you think it's good, and then you put it live, and it catches it.
But even more annoying is, okay, fine, I'll deal with that, because I'd rather not get the claim after it's gone live.
Yeah.
The problem now is that I'm getting all these claims after the video has gone live. Like, my top 10 Eminem songs already has a claim on it. And the Warner Chappelle people, oh my god, they are relentless. They put claims in, and then they automatically will reject your dispute. Then you have to dispute it again. Yeah, exactly. Because literally all YouTube does is send it back to the label, and they're like, you sure? And they're like, of course. And then you send it back again, and you have to fill out this long thing saying why it's fair use, you know, explaining every point. And then a lot more often than not, it just comes back again, and it's like, you know, they've decided their claim is still valid, and you can either take down the video within the next, or you can either allow the claim to stay on in the next 7 days, or your video will come down. And then you can appeal again. But after that, if it's just getting sent to the label again, who am I to, why would I believe that the video would be back online? Yeah. You know, like, and I can't risk that. There's like 3 or 4 or 5 different videos that I've completely had rejected at this point already within the past, like, month. And that basically means that I'm not making any money on those videos because of the claims. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Like top 10s are like pretty cut and clear, like prime examples of fair use. I
Right.
play a brief clip.
Especially now that we have to make them even shorter.
Right. I play a very brief clip to educate you guys, the viewers, for context on what song I'm talking about next.
Or criticizing.
Because more often than not, a lot of times people don't know. Like, you know, they might not know every Eminem song. They might not know every top 10, whoever I'm counting down, or ranked episode.
And I saw someone suggest, like, using covers of the songs, but that just kind of defeats the whole point, because, like, it's going to be a different voice, it's not the same.
You can't do a cover of Eminem, you know?
Right. You can't, like, judge, I don't know, because then your audience is going to perceive it differently than what you're talking about, and it's just not fair.
Right.
So there's really no way out.
We're planning on launching a t-shirt very, very soon. You'll see, but it's basically just going to be kind of poking what fun we can at the situation, but it'll also be a way to, like, support the channel.
Yeah.
Like, cause, like, the provider that we're working with now for making, like, t-shirts and stuff, it's actually a lot more profitable, like, than it was, like, in the past. Like, with Spreadshirt, I think we were using, I was making, like, I would sell, like, a $22 shirt, I would get, like, $3, which is, like, really not good. It's really not good. But this is definitely better for the channel, and, like, obviously, like, we make what we can out of these situations. It's really frustrating to constantly see the claims coming in, but I also appreciate all of you guys who do support just by, like, coming to the streams, watching the videos, and to all the patrons out there. Much love to you guys as well, because it truly, like, I really honestly wouldn't be full-time without Patreon.
Yeah. That's, like, the main.
That's like the backbone.
It puts us up and over.
It's the backbone. So thank you to anybody out there who supports on Patreon. But anyways, that is what we are dealing with right now. Constant streams. It's like I swear to God, it's like every other day there's, like, something new coming in, or somebody upholding their claim, and some days it's like 3 will come in, and then I'll go a couple of days, not hear anything, and then another one, and it's just the way it is, and I just constantly am going through, typing out, like, I have to provide reasoning for all of these claims. I have to respond to all of them to try to get them to fall off, and it's just out of control at this point.
I kind of wish, I think I mentioned this before to you, that I kind of wish that, like, certain channels could, like, be pre-approved or something to, like, use music because of the type of videos they put out, like, fair use, like, channel,
this channel, like, or at least YouTube would more often than not
channel's protected by fair use, like, and we don't get claims unless it's absolutely warranted,
like, if I'm playing, like, a whole song or something.
Yeah, but who does that? Like, I mean, I wish they really need to fix it.
Like, I understand,
because even for commentary channels too,
right, they have trouble with stuff, and I have trouble, or I know that people who, like, do, like, reactions and stuff, I understand why that gets copyrighted. Like, you know, you're playing a good majority of a song.
Or the whole thing.
I get it. I do get that. But, like, you know, if you're just literally playing, like, a brief clip just to give somebody an idea of what it is, that's fair use. But anyways, somebody said a minute ago, can you keep the live streams up for people who missed them? They're all up. They're just unlisted. Just go to the playlist tab on Beyond AR TV and go to Not a Live Stream, and they are all there. So, just in case anybody did not know that, all of the I'm thinking cover songs still. For some reason I read it. They're all still up. Because each one is different.
And read it.
Why haven't you written a dispute script you can just fill in the blanks for and send easily? Because, like, everything is different depending on the context of what the claim is. Like, there's
generally they're mostly the same, and I do copy and paste, but then, like, sometimes you'll add to it.
Right, you kind of add to it depending on the situation. Like, there's, like, a basic
and
thing.
A lot of times these days, the basic fucking sentence of you being nice just isn't gonna get you anywhere.
Right, you have to, like,
be
detailed.
You gotta, like, show them that you know what they're doing wrong, and you're not afraid of them, because everyone is so afraid of the dispute process.
Like, and they're just, like, bow down. Like,
so like, oh, you're gonna lose your channel if you do this.
I had a smaller creator that we know reach out to us and was talking about how she was, like, so scared about, like, to appeal it, even in the first place.
Just
and I'm
don't
like,
be afraid.
Yeah, you can't be,
you're
like,
in the right if it's fair use.
And especially sometimes, like, I literally get hit, like, on my Papa Roach review, got hit for copyright claim. There's no copyrighted music. There's nothing at all. And they literally
because the title.
They levied a false claim against it for that reason. And it fell off, of course, because obviously there's no music in it. But still, the scary thought is that they could just keep upholding it.
Yeah, it's
like,
so messed up. And there's no third party
right.
helping anybody. It's just them against you.
Right. But You know, that's what's going on right now. It sucks. It is what it is, though. We're dealing with it, and I will have a fun shirt to reveal very, very soon that you guys can purchase to help support the channel. Anyways, I guess the last topic of discussion, APMAs. What the hell happened? Where did they go? Where did they come from? Where did they go?
I saw an article like this time last year or something saying that last year's APMAs were going to be in the fall. In the fall instead of in the summer, and I was like, okay, and then nothing happened.
Yeah.
And now here we are, and it's like, what happened?
Yeah.
Like they just stopped doing them.
Right, and the point is that they were gonna wait so they didn't interfere with the final
With
cross-country
Warped
Warp Tour. Yeah. Which doesn't make sense to me, really, considering they Warp Tour kind of like that was like a thing that
it always
coincided.
Went around with it, yeah.
Right.
So
and now there's no APMAs. Like the APMAs, don't get me wrong, were really shitty
it's
the last few years.
Probably for the best right now. The first year I thought was great because I was there,
and that was the only really good one.
And it was before they like, I don't know, it was outdoors. It was more like a real festival or like concert. And it was just a lot more better acts, better categories, like better, I don't know, like just. And then they just kind of like not sold out with it, but like they got Alex and Jack to be the hosts twice in a row, which is so boring. And like the jokes they made them tell were not funny. It was very awkward. There were a lot of production issues. Remember the second year?
Yeah,
didn't they start over the whole show?
Yeah, they started it over
like an hour in. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, it was pretty far in.
It was a mess. And most of the bands there, I could tell were like cringing. Like I think like Real Friends are like neck deep in the story so far. Like, I don't know, like, they just, like, did not give a fuck, did not dress up for it, just, like...
They were just there.
I think the story so far didn't even go, like, they refused to go because it was so, like, cringe, like, pop-punk, AP, you know how APMA, like...
Well, they think everything is pop-punk.
Like, yeah, AP is so cringy now, so...
Yeah, well, AP's not even, like, AP anymore. They're just, like, a site that posts
They're a Twitter
memes. And they post stolen memes, and then the articles on their actual site are more so about like movies and like they're talking like Riverdale all the time and shit.
The same shit that everyone else is reporting about.
And they think like, oh my god, Riverdale, what an like they constantly report on like everything that's going on there. Anytime you click on the news, like something about that or like a Tim Burton movie or something, I'm like, what is it? Like you're not even reporting on music anymore.
It's really annoying.
And they don't review.
No,
they don't review
just promote
anything.
Shit and suck everyone's dick, so they go on their cover.
Yeah, like, hey guys, you want to come over here? Like,
and the award show, I felt like the award show was so like, just they would always pick like such predictable, you know, nominees.
Yeah.
And it's like such a popularity contest.
Always.
So obviously the band with the most rabid fan base is gonna win. Like it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
They had the first year I thought went well, but. After that, it was just weird.
Right.
And cringe. They kept marketing it as, like, pop punk prom, the way you should dress. And I'm just like, fucking
God.
Kill yourself.
Somebody said they've become Hot Topic. I mean, honestly, Hot Topic shows a little bit more diversity even than AP these days.
I don't even know what they are. They're just annoying. That's why I have them blocked, I think, on Twitter.
It's really cringy.
It's so annoying.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Do you think they're going to come back?
I don't.
Because they haven't even said, like, why it went away.
I feel like AP is going to go out of business. You know what I mean? Like,
well, didn't they like change the way they like do their magazines?
Yeah, they did. They're restructuring things.
They have like digital subscriptions,
and they're trying to focus more on like promoting all kinds of stuff. And it's like you're literally, your Twitter bio says the nation's leading voice for, you know,
underground and punk music.
And they don't talk about any of that.
And they have 21 Pilots on the cover like every 3 months.
And Kellen Quinn and like
all the same
Brendan.
bands. Brendan's been on it like literally 20 times. I swear to God.
Like
it's all the same predictable ones.
Right. Like I know a lot of our viewers like those type of bands, but like you gotta.
No, I do too.
Yeah,
but like
you gotta expand your taste beyond that.
They only do it because they know it'll get like the fangirls' attention,
and
like, and they sell the signed posters and stuff. And
right.
The way they tweet. Just look at the way they tweet with like so much like emojis and like memes. Like they're trying so hard.
And like we love a blank blank blank. Yeah. You know.
AP went downhill like after 2015.
Yeah.
Like 2014 was like the last good year because I used to buy their magazines.
Yeah, I did too.
And like posters and stuff.
I've got one sitting back there.
Yeah, I have a ton. Like, but after that, I was just like, this is weird. I'm too old for this.
I've got this one, the 300th issue. Make sure my address isn't on there. We got that with MCR on the cover. And
AP Hall.
Let's see. Yeah, AP Hall right here. And then we've got number 303. And what's on top? 21 Pilots.
I have that one too.
Yeah, I have
the poster that's signed of them recreating that.
Yep. And what's the date on this? October 2013. So that's like the last time that I got one.
Yeah, that was like around. I like stopped in like 2015.
Yeah, I always forget that.
Who is worse, AP or Rock Sound?
AP.
AP is definitely worse, but Rock Sound's kind of getting.
But
there.
they still like at least do like interviews and like.
At least they're trying in that realm.
But then again, they put together all these shit ass compilations of things that we don't need.
Yeah, that's what
and
I
no
mean.
one
They're
asks
getting kind of annoying, but they're not as bad. Yet. Yeah. At least they have like cool YouTube stuff.
Right. I like.
Like they're actually putting an effort there, but otherwise.
AP tries so hard. Like
they
their fucking series on YouTube is like. Blank ruined music, and it's like so clickbaity, and it's like they did one with I don't know how, and they don't even get views anymore.
I know.
Like I get my interview with I don't know how gets like way more views and traction than they do.
Crazy.
So I don't know how they're making money as a magazine. Like they couldn't be making a ton. And I just don't understand it. All these accounts that just try to be so relatable, and it never works out. It's like MTV account. The MTV account tweets like a 13-year-old.
Yeah, every company, every business or brand tweets like a fucking teenager, and it's so annoying.
Yeah,
and it's so like, who are you? You're not even your brand.
And
you're just copying.
They talk like they're an individual person.
Yeah, have you seen the Warped Tour account?
Yeah, the Warped Tour account's funny.
The Warped Tour account.
They're so mean, and I love it. That's what people think about me.
I know, but like they're like Warped Tour.
Yeah.
Like just don't reply to anybody.
Right.
Like you don't have to. So I don't know why they even do it.
Yeah.
But it's pretty funny.
All right, before we go, I'll take this last question from Aiden's Angels.
Should we give away one?
Oh yeah, we should. Well, okay, I'll take this question after. I'll announce this real quick. Let's give away the Swimmers album. All right, so Swimmers recently put out their album, Berkeley's on Fire. Your TV lies. And I've got a digital copy, a free digital copy of this new record. Shout out real quick to this beautiful, beautiful yellow vinyl. I'm sure it doesn't do it justice on this webcam.
Looks better in person.
It does. It looks better. And obviously, if I do my vinyl update, which you guys seem to be all for, I'll probably within the next month do an entire vinyl video.
Can you just answer this guy already? He's been sending this for like an hour.
Please review In the Mountain, in the Cloud by Portugal the Man.
Like every fucking minute.
No. I do like that album though, but it's just probably not likely that I would do a dedicated review to it.
Patreon request.
That's true. That's true. I guess you could do that. Or you could wait until I do Portugal the Man ranked maybe someday. If I ever do that. But yeah, Patreon requests. It's always something if you would like to do that. If you really want it reviewed, then that.
Is there another question you were gonna answer?
Yeah, there is. But if you want,
get this going.
If you want the Swimmers album, drop it in the comments right now.
Say I want Swimmers.
I want Swimmers. I want this. Me. Let us know. But while you guys are doing that, we'll give you like a minute. Aiden's Angels asked, "What's your favorite collaboration you've ever done?" So. I'm going to take that to mean like either like a brand collaboration, another creator on the platform, or a YouTuber. Yeah. So what's your favorite collaboration that you've ever done? Outside of me. We can't say each other.
I've done like no collabs.
That's not true.
I don't know.
You did that sick one with...
No. The last collab, I have not done collabs in like a long time.
You did one with...
I don't really have an answer.
I'm trying to think of something that you did. Okay, what's your favorite brand that you've worked with?
That's just offensive.
Why is that offensive?
Brand that I've worked with? There's like 2. Fuck you.
That's not true. You've done more than that.
Don't even just answer your question. It was for you.
What do you think my favorite collaboration that I've done
with a brand?
No, with a creator.
I don't know.
I'm trying to think if I even have an answer. A lot of people want Swimmers. That's good.
I'm trying to think. I just don't do collabs anymore, really.
Yeah, I don't do many.
And I'm not like that proud of them.
I like the Rock Coliseum is fun. I like doing that. That's a recurring collab that I do. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it was great to work with with the Needle Drop the few times that we've collaborated together. So that was definitely just cool since he's such a big creator on the platform in the music community. But yeah, let's pick somebody at random. You get to pick this time, Hannah.
Oh, you're not gonna answer the question?
No.
Oh. Alright.
I kind of answered it.
What about brand?
Hopefully, probably Sonic Temple. Like,
Yeah.
the people behind it, since they're actually sending me to the festival.
Okay.
Danny Wimmer presents. All right. This one. AliSor _ AliSor. What did it say? I want swimmers. It's pure artwork. Well, there you go. Congratulations. Mr. Advance said, are you into Smashing Pumpkins? Sure, definitely. At some point, I would like to review a couple, maybe like one of their earlier records.
Oh, he's saying it again! Peter!
Peter!
We fucking said no! Go away!
You're gonna have to go to timeout, buddy.
God, if you're just gonna spam the same damn thing that John already said no.
No.
You can go home now.
It's fine. It's fine. I put him in timeout. All right, so AliSor. You I know there's a delay on this and it's awkward, but yeah, congratulations. Just let me know if you've got an Instagram handle that we can reach you at. I will hit you up and send the code your way. But other than that, guys, we are right on time. We're planning on doing an hour to an hour 15 stream.
I gotta film a video.
Yeah, we gotta finish filming a video. It's something that we're working on together, and it's a bigger one, so...
It's recreating album covers.
Yeah.
Part 2.
Part 2, recreating album covers.
Sneak peek for the stream.
It'll be on Hannah's channel soon.
Hopefully Wednesday, if I can finish it.
Wednesday or Saturday. So.
We'll see.
We'll see. OMG, I'm freaking out. Well, congrats.
Okay.
Let us know your Instagram, and we will get that over to you ASAP. So, congratulations, AliSor. I like saying that's a fun name.
Yeah, that's a good name.
AliSor _ Hey, it rhymes. AliSor _ Get it?
No.
It rhymes. There's actually a timeout feature. That's hilarious.
Do another episode of Love It.
Like on Love It or Hate It?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, you've been noticed, the introvert oddball. Live stream us recording it. You don't want to see that.
We are recording us doing it.
No, the album cover recreation.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
we
are recording it, but we're not live. We're not streaming it though. Okay, we got the Insta. Thank you. And we will we'll get that over to you as soon as we finish up here. Thank you to everybody who came out to the monthly stream. We'll be back again next month in April for another live stream. Who knows? You know, you never know. There could be a special live stream snuck in there somewhere else. But as of now, it looks like the next stream, the first Sunday of April, will be April 7th. So I guess we will see you guys back April 7th in live form, and you'll see us plenty more times in between in the form of content. Hannah's got a new video dropping. I've got plenty of stuff planned. Weezer Ranked is on the way, and thank you guys for being here. Vinyl update coming soon, too, where we'll do the entire collection, and we'll see you on the next
time.
one.
Stream.
Next time.
Bye.
Bye, guys.